Hello and welcome to Who Dares Rolls TV. I'm your host Mike B. Here we are again, a couple of weeks into January. Well, we're there. So, what have we been playing? Not a massive amount, really, shockingly. Played a few more games of Dune Imperium, the solo game of that, using the app. I think it's very solid. I really enjoy what it's doing. It's got lots of really cool mechanisms of deck building in there. It's got that conflict moment of it, which is a bit Arctic Scavengers, as I've said. So you kind of keeping one eye on that as a strategy. There's a lot going on. Really like the Dune theming on it. I love a bit of Dune anyway. The first book is well worth reading, or the Lynch movie even. But yeah, really solid, good game. Really solid game. I can't wait to play it with other players, because I think at that point in time it's going to really blossom into like a vicious, brutal worker placement-y, deck builder-y type thing. As it stands with a solo game, it's a good challenge. It's a good fun. But yeah, I relish the possibility of playing against some other players, because I think then it will really come into its own. What else have we been playing on there? Not a lot really, but bunch more Hearthstone, Battlegrounds on that. Just been digging into that because still haven't looked at the streaming. Got to think about doing some of that at some point. Touched on that app stuff. Can't remember what it was, but yeah, that was pretty much it. They had a look at Call of Duty Warfare because we were discussing, or Warzone, or whatever it is, the Battle Royale Call of Duty. That was a possibility. Came up, and it nearly killed my computer. So we're not doing that. News. Well, at the start of this week, just board game controversy, really, just more of it. Essentially, a few designers decided to come out a bit racist, and yeah. So Phil Ackland, who his tinfoil hat fell off briefly, never played any of Phil Ackland's games. I've always been enticed by High Frontier, because I like the concept of it. Never really followed Eklund, never really followed what he's spoken about. I know he has lots of crib notes and notes in some of his games. He's done a bunch of stuff, very high detailed, usually Euro games, very complex Euro games, lots of moving parts, lots of mechanisms. As I say, High Frontier was one, it's kind of the space race as a board game, and you trying to, a simulation almost of you putting a ship up into space and what happens to it. Sounds fascinating, and one I've always been tempted by. However, Eklund is just all over the show with some of his comments in regards to all sorts of crazy shit. I've not even personally, I've not followed all of it, but he's denying a lot of stuff. Climate, COVID, I think, and then going into darker, just... Anyway, so yeah, essentially his publishers have come out kind of... they've distanced themselves from him. They definitely have said they're going to continue to... keep to their contractual obligations with him, but they're going to remove his notes from his manuals, his extra superfluous notes, which may or may not err into the side of fucked upness. Tony Boydell, or whoever faithful Tony Boydell, summed up everything eloquently in this image. Subtle as always, Tony, but on the nose, I feel. And then there's other people. There's Daniel Tassini. He's the designer behind a bunch of games I've never really played. Zolkin was one of them. There's a lot of the Zolk word names, very long, Aztec-y. Again, strange material in there, a lot of dealing with stuff, okay, slavery and things and stuff in those games. Never a big follower of them. Very complex games again. I played Zolkin. I thought it was, wow, it was an interesting game with these wheels turning and you kind of a worker placement, but having to plan. It was quite, it never quite got my head around it. Enjoyed it. Anyway, he's come out with a post that he subsequently deleted. Just didn't play well. Did really not play well. Feel free to go and hunt it down. It contains racial slurs. Whether it was lost in translation has been the argument. However, it was not a good look. And again, Board and Dice, who published Danny's games, have essentially turned around and said they're dropping him. They were going to finish whatever they have left with him, but that's it. They're done. Which is quite a significant choice, because there's 2 or 3 big titles that he's behind that they've no doubt fairly big amount of money made off of it, so it's not been taken lightly, I guess. What the fuck is going on? Oh, and then Jeff DeBoer, who are from Fun Again Games, kind of doubled down on top of all of this by attacking a couple of female content creators online in some misogynist talk and stuff, just like something from the 1950s. So yeah, that's that in a nutshell, if you really need to know. Essentially, there's some names that you may want to not be buying any stuff for theirs anymore, or whatever. That's your choice on that one. Yeah. 2021, the year that keeps doubling down on 2020 by the look of it. It's a simple line, draw in the sand. Any board game designers, publishers, anyone, if you're going to be a Nazi, then I'm not going to support your stuff. That's that in a nutshell. Right, and then there's this, John Dillerman.
Goddag, det er John Dillermand. John Dillermand. Han er verdens længste Dillermand. Der er næsten ikke noget, han ikke kan med det. Han kan svinge lidt rundt, han kan blive lidt flov. Han kan redde hele verden, hvis han bare fik lov. John Dillermand.
This made me laugh. Meant to publish that the other week or two when it came out and I saw it, and it made me chuckle. Quite apt in relation to the massive amount of cocks that have been waving around in the last segment we just did. Unrelated to board games and everything at all, I did see, again last week, this is news, I was spouting nonsense in the last episode, so this is slightly less nonsense. There was Lucasfilm Games has been set up, which before now we had LucasArts in the 80s and 90s produce some really great a lot of point-and-click adventure games, things like Manic Mansion and Full Throttle. Full Throttle was brilliant. Grim Fandango. They did all that sort of stuff. Really good stuff. They did Monkey Island, and then they kind of would just mid-90s, I think it was, after they did a shit ton of really good stuff. Star Wars stuff as well. Dark Forces and X-Wing V TIE. They were mothballed, and I think EA got the license to Star Wars and kind of milked that to death in a bunch of really generally not great games. The only thing I think for this period I can think of that came out was the Knights of the Old Republic MMO, which I did play quite a chunk of that. Really got into it, but found it was really heavy grind late game and kind of stopped it. It's still going, but now EA have turned it into something that you've got to basically pay ridiculous. There's tiered stuff to pay to actually get loot and stuff. It's just been monetized to death. Anyway, so I don't touch that. I won't recommend that because of that stupidity. So EA have kind of lost the stuff that's been dragged from them. Lucasfilm Games is coming up. They did this teaser thing which showed a shit ton of stuff that's coming, which I like a Star Wars game. What's most enticed me is they're doing another MMO type thing. They're doing so. I think it might be in the Knights of the Old Republic. It's definitely set at sort of prior thing. Really, the idea of an MMO, a decent MMO, if they get it right in Star Wars. Oh yes, I loved a lot of what the old one did, where you could be Sith and you could do all sorts of crazy shit, and your power is very cool. But so very much excited about the prospect of some of the stuff that's coming up for this. Because I do fancy, I love the idea of an MMO Star Wars. That's really good. We shall see. That's that. What else have I been up to? I've been watching Aliens, Alien movies, Aliens, in preparation of, I want to sit down and have a proper play of Aliens, Another Glorious Day in the Core. I've painted all the aliens. They're done there. I just finished them the other day. I've got the Marines to paint and some other odds and sods. And I think then I'd be ready to give that a blast because I would really slather myself with the excitement of the prospect. Played a couple of little games of it just to get a feel for it, and it was initially a little bit, but kind of got my head around it. It looks like a really cool cooperative, basically that space hulky sort of zombie-sidey type you against massed hordes coming at you game. It looks cool. I love Aliens. Absolutely adore it. In fact, the Alien series, definitely 1, 2, and 3. But yeah, Aliens, it's just a cracking action movie. Really sat down and watched that again because I haven't watched that for a while and just really enjoyed that. I love that. Yes, and this, so I'm hoping to play some of this and really indulge myself into that. that's about it. I've dropped today, or yesterday, depending when this video comes out, was Charlie's second episode, Who Does Rolls. There's coming up is the rest of the final parts of the top 50. I've edited that at the moment, so that's nearly going to drop in the next couple of days. Saturday is my birthday. How exciting. Oh, I don't know what I'm going to get. And PortalCon is on that day, Saturday, my birthday day, and about midday, Ignace is going to be doing a presentation of Portal's I think it's 3 new game releases they're doing. So I'm going to try and live stream my response to that, or at the very least I'll record something and can do something. Anyway, that's going to happen. Freebies, they're still here. I need to put them in the box. The winner, yes, I'm on that, Gav. I'm doing it. I've nearly COVID, sleeping in here. It's been carnage. I'm doing it. I'm sorry. So the giveaways will be going out this week. And that's it. I'll be back soon, maybe sooner if I get this live stream thing sorted out. Hopefully I can also sit down with Charlie and we can do a on face-to-face video-y, maybe live podcast type thing. I know he's mentioned something at the end of his most recent episode, wanting to do something, so yes, I'm up for that. Just need to get my old man head around tech and sort that out. That's it. That's done. I won't ramble anymore. Thanks for tuning in. This has been Who Does Rolls. I've got reviews to do. Yes, stuff is going on. I don't give a shit. It's 2021. Everything's gone out the window. The world has gone to shit still a bit more. Though Biden's in, thank God. I'm just doing what I like when I like, and there will be reviews coming, but when I can get around to it. No pressure. Stop pressuring me. See ya.